So as Syed told, we have advanced classes. So he has a surprise for you also that you can utilize. Now today, whatever we are going to give it here, take a note and paper and write it down so that you can use it at any point of time. Okay. And here recording is not available, but when you come for the advanced class, complete PDF notes, complete recording, and my mentorship will be there throughout. Okay. So now all of you are clear what we are here up to, what we are going to do. Today we are going to do a melt and pour soap. Okay. From the basics I will start. Okay. What is a soap, why organics, everything I will start, and then we'll go on to the practicals. Yes. Yes, all of you clear what we are going to do? Yeah, I want a yes. I don't want anyone being silent. Yes. Yes. Okay. Great. Great. Great.
Yes.
Done. Okay, guys. So now I'll start with a small question. Tell me, what were we using to take bath before the invention of soap? We'll first test a little bit knowledge on you.
Mud. Mud.
Haldi.
The neem powder, and then the chana powder.
Super. Okay. Then
Multani mitti.
Multani mitti. Then Anjali, check your internet connection because for everyone it is clear. Yeah, turmeric, uptan, mitti. Okay. Okay.
Aloe vera.
Aloe vera. Before the invention of all these,
vitamin, a lot of things are there.
Before the invention of all these, what were we using to take bath? I'm like digging up something on the history. What were we using to take bath before invention of all these?
With the mud only, I suppose.
Mud. Okay. Correct. Mud or soil we use to take bath. After that, we started Indian traditional method. We started applying, massaging ourselves with oil, and then using different herbal powders. Okay, but not same herbal powder. Different climatic condition, we were using different herbal powders. That's how we were able to cope up with heat, or if it is very cold. And different skin type, we were using different herbal powders. But today, like for all climatic condition, all period, they are using one single powder. That is why they are not getting satisfied with the powder. Okay. Now after that, Western invasion came. Then they started to make first handmade soaps only. Okay. So the natural soap, handmade soap was made. After that, this detergents like SLS, SLES were created. So with that, they were using soaps. Okay. So commercial soaps, what we have today, okay, has SLS and SLES. These two are surfactant, that is sulfate. They have sulfate in it. Okay. So when these surfactant sulfates are going inside your soap, these were generally created for purpose of cleaning your cloths, cleaning your vessels, things like that. As it was giving lot of lather and foam, people started to use this in the natural human soap itself. But later what happened, this surfactants, after using for 2 decades, 3 decades, this surfactant started to make the skin very dry. Okay. So skin has a beautiful capacity called sebum production. Okay, sebum production is nothing but the natural oil production of the skin. Skin has the capacity to produce oil naturally. So this sebum production was completely rinsed off by this SLS and SLES. Okay, so these sulfates will take off all the oil in the skin. So when the oil is decreasing, what will happen? You will get small wrinkles all over your skin, and you will your actual age, more than your actual birth age, your skin's age will be looking a lot older. Okay, that will happen when there is no oil content at all in the skin. But when too much of oil content, also again a problem is there. Your skin will start to clog, pores will start to clog, and you will have small pimples. So to avoid all these things, you have to keep your sebum balanced throughout. Why? Because there's one small concept in cosmetics which is called L29. L29. Even if your birth age is 50 years old, your skin has the elasticity and capacity to look as if only 29 years old. Okay, how this can be achieved? When this sebum production that is automatically occurring in the skin is balanced throughout. Okay, how to balance this sebum production? By using pH balanced product. Okay, pH is a very important thing in cosmetics. Actually, if you use herbal powder and oil, it doesn't have pH at all. So that time you don't have to be worried about the balance. Automatically the sebum production will not be disturbed. That is why that is the first best thing. Applying oils and using proper herbal powders is the first best thing to cleanse your skin. After that, if it is not possible, okay, there are a lot of things why today it is not possible, because previously and all we had open space for taking bath. We had a garden wherein water will go inside, that something was like that. But now what happened, we are like taking bath in a small closed area where everything will go and clog your zinc and things like that. So to avoid all those problems, people are not okay. So in this batch itself, if 160 people are there, 40 people will be okay to take bath with herbal powders and oils. But another the rest of the people are there, no, they see, you can't blame them also, because there is no time. People are running nowadays, and they don't have energy to clean up the place where they are living. So for them, the next option you can take is taking bath with a herbal or natural soap. Okay, so this herbal or natural soap is not as harsh as your commercial soap. Okay, so it is not completely like a natural thing also, but we are creating a soap in which the alkalinity is completely dropped, and it gives the same goodness as your herbal powders, uptan powders, and your other bathing powders. So how to create this soap? Okay, for creating this soap, we have only one formula. Different process are there, but the formula is only one. Okay, the formula is oil plus base equal to soap plus glycerin. Oil plus base equal to soap plus glycerin. Okay, every time this is the only formula to make any natural soap. Oil plus base equal to soap plus glycerin. Here oils means any carrier oil, that is oils which are derived from either churning, pressing, cold pressing, or compressing of any particular herb, nut, fruit, flower, etc. So examples are almond oil, coconut oil, sesame oil, you have any mustard oil, any oils that are like derived from compressing, cold pressing of any particular herb, nut, fruit, or flower is called carrier oil. Okay, so this carrier oil is converted to soap and glycerin. The byproduct is soap and glycerin. So soap gives you the cleansing effect. Okay, glycerin will give you the moisturizing effect. This is what this soap is making a very large difference. Okay, normal commercial soap will only rinse off, it will not leave any moisture. But here, after rinsing off, moisture is also left behind because of the byproduct that is automatically derived. Okay, so the soap and glycerin you cannot see separately, it will be one on one, it will be combined together in your byproduct. Now when you combine every 1 gram of oil to 1 gram of soap and glycerin, it cannot be automatically done, correct? Oil cannot automatically change to a soap and glycerin. So we use an intermediate, okay, to do this, which is called base. This base is of two types. One is sodium hydroxide, another one is potassium hydroxide. Sodium and potash hydroxide. Okay, now can anyone tell me what is the chemical formula of sodium hydroxide?
NaOH.
Super, NaOH. Potassium hydroxide?
KOH.
Great. Okay, so these two from 10th standard itself, all of us know these are chemicals which is which we have used in our chemistry labs and all. So when you combine oil with the base, sodium hydroxide or NaOH, or it is also called as caustic soda or lye solution, whatever the name it is called, when you combine oil with the base, this base sodium hydroxide, you get a hard bar of soap, rock hard bar of soap. When you combine oil with the base potassium hydroxide or KOH, you get a liquid soap. So liquid Castile soap, liquid shower gel, liquid hand wash, everything is derived from this method. Okay, so two bases are available. Now you can ask me one question, ma'am. You're telling natural soap. Now you're telling two chemicals that we know from 10th standard. How it will be more natural? That question might strike everyone, even your customers, it might strike. Correct? So I'll tell you why. So in nature, as I told you, oil cannot automatically convert to a hard bar or a soft bar, and it cannot lather. there should be some form which needs it to be lathering. But we will take a process in which this sodium hydroxide goes inside oil. This process is called saponification. It saponifies, that's why it's called a soap. It saponifies the oils and creates soap and glycerin, and finally it will evaporate. Evaporation, we take a small process in the soap making process itself. We do something small to evaporate all this sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. So finally, what is left to you, what is left to your customer is either a soap and glycerin without any other alkaline chemical. Okay, that's how this is called as natural soap. Okay, so this is the process and formula of soap making. Now there are different methods to make soap. Okay, so I'll give you a quick start for each method for you to understand, and then we'll move on to today's class of melt and pour soap making. Okay, so can anyone tell me what are the methods you know that you make soap? Methods that you know.
Cold process.
Super. Cold
Um,
process.
Melting the soap base and then
Melt and pour.
heating and liquefaction.
melt and pour process.
Pour.
Yes.
Next is hot process. Okay, there is one more process which is called hot process. Cold process,
Hot
hot
process.
process, melt and pour. And then we have whipped cream soap. Whipped cream soap. And then we have powdered cleansers. And then we have liquid washes. So generally these are the available cleansers that can be made in the natural method. So first one, if you see cold process method, so it is one of the most natural method of soap making. About 90% of oils are used here. Only 10% of NaOH that will also evaporate by a small process which is called as curing. Okay, so this entire process take place in a normal room temperature, no heat, no extra ingredients, just oil plus base equal to soap plus glycerin. This direct formula will be applied here. Okay, and if you see cold process soap, when we do 100 grams of soap for us will be costing 28 to 30 rupees maximum. But margin in the market today is that 100 grams of goat milk cold process soap, one company is selling for 1,100 rupees. Today I saw one company is selling for 1,100 rupees 100 grams goat milk cold process soap. Okay, but general margin which my students, my own students will keep is from 250 rupees 100 gram soap, 250 rupees. So now you can see the margin difference, not even 100% profit, it is like 200 and 230% profit we are attaining from this cold process soap. Okay, now why people are buying, that is the next thing. See, how can you buy a soap for 100 rupees, sorry, 1,000 rupees? So why people are buying, that is the major point that you have to note here. Cold process, I told you 90% of oil, so there is immediate result. Okay, it is quick, organic and very natural, and it shows more result on your face. Only if there is result, people will come and buy again. Otherwise, once they will buy and stop buying. As the result is more, people are coming again and again to buy this soap at this cost. Okay, so now next point here you have to note, there is only one small hold in cold process, that is, if you do the soap today, a minimum of 25 days you need to keep for this process called curing, wherein all the NaOH will evaporate. So if I do soap today, I have to wait for 25 days to sell the soap. Okay, so that is the small hold for which we created the process called hot process method. Okay, hot process is a method, same natural method, where oil plus base will be there, soap and glycerin will be your byproduct, but we will be adding some solvents there itself, natural derived solvents there itself, to evaporate NaOH. Okay, so this soap will be ready in 48 hours itself, so you can sell immediately in 1 or 2 days. So this hot process method soap, you can do it as a soap, final soap itself, or you can do it as a soap base. Why we are creating a soap base is nothing but soap base is the raw material for melt and pour soap. Okay, so you can also create raw materials and you can give it to your customers, or you can create the soap itself. Okay, therefore this hot process method and melt and pour method are interrelated to one another. Without this cannot be done. That's why these are interrelated to one another. One example of melt and pour soap, if you see, Khadi India sells melt and pour soap. Okay, now this hot process and melt and pour method, if I do, it will cost like 30 rupees to 35 rupees 100 grams of soap bar. Okay, but the selling price or going price in the market is from 95 to 225 rupees. Melt and pour and all within 15 minutes I'll make ready and show you. That's all the time taken, and cost is only 30 to 35, but in you can sell up to 225. More than that also people are selling, but this is the average market rate. Okay, now these three are hard bar of soap. The pH will be completely balanced. So these soaps will be natural, hard, and pH balanced soap. Okay. Now this next property is whipped cream soap. Okay. Whipped cream is like an increase in demand for now. Okay. It's a creamy texture of soap. It's not a hard texture. It's a creamy texture of soap. You can convert it as a face wash. You can convert it as a creamy face wash, a scrub, or you can do it as a full body cleanser, or you can convert it as a shaving foam. So it is a multifunctional soap. Whipped cream soap is a multifunctional soap. This soap, when I create, okay, you how much ever goodies you have put inside, how much ever addictive surprises you have put inside, it's very popular among kids, very popular among kids today. So how much ever you put, 200 grams jar you can create at 80 rupees max. Okay, but the selling price in the market, 100 grams of jar is nothing less than 150 rupees minimum. Okay, till 1800 rupees I've seen this in the market, whipped cream jar. This is the ongoing market rate. Okay, now so the pH will be so neutral, 5.5, 6.5. Whatever you put inside will be immediately shown on face. You can add clays, you can add other goodies, everything will be immediately seen in your face. Also good to use for babies and kids. Now next is powdered cleanses. So normally what herbal powders and herbal packs we can create, like herbal uptan powder, herbal nalangamavu, which will be suitable for maximum kids below 3 years. Definitely herbal powders are best, and adults above 60 years. Okay, for them also these herbal powders are very suitable because their skin are very sensitive, very tender, and they will lose lot of oil. That is the reason the uptan powders or nalangamavu with proper herbal properties we can mix together. Liquid soaps, again liquid washes, liquid hand washes, that can be done. So we will use herbal extraction method. We'll take all the herbal extractions and that will make us liquid soaps. Okay, like that we'll be doing. So all these we are covering in the advanced class. I just gave you a heads up for this. Today we are going to cover maximum on this melt and pour soap making. Okay, so I know a lot of you here, I think 4 or 5 of you here have already tried this melt and pour soap. See, generally whatever in YouTube they are giving, not even a basic logic of why they are doing that, they are not saying it, but there is a good start, good introduction for a melt and pour soap which everyone should know before they start doing it. Okay, so that basics I will make you very clear so that you can do any melt and pour soap on your own. Okay, so for melt and pour soap, 4 of you told you have already made. What all is required? Can you tell me? 3, 4 of you told me you have made. What all you require for a melt and pour soap? Also tell me if you have faced any problem while you do the melt and pour soap on your own.
We buy paste from the Amazon.
Okay.
And then we just heat up it.
Hmm.
First we have to grate it, then we heat up it.
Hmm.
And then we can add some essential oils for the sake of smell.
Hmm.
And then some aloe vera, if in case we are using aloe vera, we can add up. And just we drop it in the trays. That's it, I have done.
Okay, so this is the knowledge which YouTube gives you. Okay. So any have you faced any problem in the soap?
Sometimes it's in the middle only, it gets clogged, it gets solidified in between only, and it's not as like as an equal soap we get. It is not usable sometimes.
Okay.
And sometimes it is not frothy also.
Okay. Okay, done. Okay, anyone else? 2 layers don't merge. Okay. Anyone else? Any other problem you have in melt and pour soap? Okay, fine. Not gets melted easily. Okay, okay, fine. So I'll teach you the basics so you will understand all your problems by that itself. Okay, so for a melt and pour soap, three things is very, very important. Okay, first thing is your mold of a melt and pour soap. Second thing is your soap base, which we use to melt. Okay, third thing is the additive. These are the three headings which we are going to cover now. First, for a mold. So mold, generally try to buy a silicone mold. Okay, silicone mold has a capacity to pop out and soap will not get stuck to the bottom. Nowadays in every departmental store, even next shop of mine has a silicone mold, so you can go ahead and buy. So while buying, one thing you have to notice is the capacity of each cavity of the mold. So while buying, your seller itself will intimate you how much each mold can hold. If not, what you can do, you can take a little amount of water, you can pour inside the mold and find out how much water it holds. So that much amount of soap base you can take. Okay, so if I'm going to make one soap, my seller has told me this mold can hold about 70 to 80 grams of soap base. I will take the least given by him. So if I'm going to do one soap, I will take 70 grams. If I'm going to do 6 soaps, I will take 70 into 6. Okay, like that only you have to calculate the soap base, how much ever is required for you. Now second thing is whatever utensils you are using. Okay, utensils is main thing. It should be only a glass or stainless steel utensil. Other than this, no other utensil you are going to use, either a glass or stainless steel. Now this glass stainless steel vessels has to be sterilized before you start making it, because we are making skincare product, so there are a lot of options for the microbial growth and fungal growths to form. So following a proper method of cleansing your vessels, cleansing your hand is very, very important. Hygienic method is very important. Okay, so for your hands, you can use a disposable gloves, because we don't know where we keep our hands, so you can use a disposable gloves, or you can wash it with soap and use a sanitizer and start making the product. In between, don't touch anything. Now for vessels, you can spray rubbing alcohol or isopropyl alcohol. Isopropyl alcohol is nothing but 99% pure you have to buy. This is one of your ingredients in the sanitizers. That is one such ingredient that we use for our hands itself. But do not use sanitizers, because sanitizers has more ingredient than what we actually require, and that will not kill the germs in the vessel like we think. So use a proper isopropyl alcohol. You will get it in Amazon. Now whatever I'm telling you, you can purchase from Amazon. In advanced class, I will give you the cosmetic raw material dealers details, so from them you can buy. They will also give you like even 100 grams, 50 grams, everything they will give you. So I will spray in whichever vessels, utensils, mold I'm going to use, and I will use a clean cloth or tissue and wipe it off. This is how you have to sterilize your equipment before starting to make any process. Okay, so for this melt and pour process, I am going to handle a double boiling procedure. Double boiling procedure means in one container, I will take whatever I'm going to melt, and in the second container, I will be having a little bit of water. So I have about 3 inches of water here. So in this container, I will take whatever I'm going to melt and I'll put it for double boiling. This can be done in your stove or induction. The microwave is not very much good for cosmetic products. So if you want, you can use, but we generally don't use microwaves. Okay, and it's not a very big mistake to use a microwave. You can use, the waves are direct. That is the only reason we are using the induction or microwave. Sorry, induction or stove in a low to medium flame. Now these are the things that you require to make a soap. Now second thing is soap base, which I was talking about. This is called soap base. So can anyone tell me from which method, just now we discussed, no, from which method we will get this soap base? Which method we were discussing now? No, we had different methods. In one of the methods, this soap base is coming from
Saponification.
no, Saranya is correct. Hot process method. Okay, hot process method, we will be adding some solvents. That is only helping us to remelt and add something, remelt and use something, remelt and use something. In cold process method or any other method, we cannot remelt the base. Only in hot process method, we will be able to remelt this base. Okay, now, so this base, if you see, it will come in bar form, flake form, cut down form. But this base we have done in our advanced class. Okay, that only I am taking and showing to you. So we pour it in molds and we cut and keep it in the container. Whenever we want, we will take it and use it. So while you go to buy from the market, you will see lot of varieties of base. Can anyone tell me what are the varieties you have already seen on base? Have you seen any varieties of base?
Glycerin based or cream based, I suppose. Glycerin
Okay.
Gel
based.
based.
Okay, so you have
Gel
seen
based.
lot of bases in the market, correct? So today, if you are going to buy, you will have a confusion.
Some goat
What
milk.
base do you buy? There are a lot of bases. Okay, so for that, I'll give you a clear bifurcation of each base, so you will understand. So whatever base is available in the market, I will divide it as two. Okay, one is clear glycerin or transparent base. Clear glycerin or transparent base. This I am dividing it in a separate subdivision. Now second one is you can do either goat milk base or aloe vera base, shea butter base, opaque base, and you have other bases like red wine base, etc., etc. N number of varieties are there in the market. So whatever in front of the base, any name comes, that you separate it is separately. Now this clear transparent or glycerin base has, how I am bifurcating, if you see, this has only soap plus glycerin as its byproduct. Okay, but these bases have soap plus glycerin plus this extra no in front, whichever is added, either a goat milk, aloe vera, shea butter, something is already added in your soap base. So when you are treating this base, the packet size which is available is more. When you're treating this base, the packet size gets lesser, as already something else have occupied the packet size. Okay, whenever you buy base clear glycerin transparent, as the packet size is more, you can add 3 to 4% of additives. Third point, additives, 3 to 4% can be added in this base. But in this base, only 1 to 2% of additives can be added. The reason is because the packet size is already being taken by something else. That is the main reason. So on which this 3 to 4 or 1 to 2% you will add, if you see, I'm going to do 70 grams, one soap 70 grams. So the soap base which I will measure is 70 grams. So on this 70 grams, if you are taking 100 grams of soap base, on 100 grams, if suppose you are doing 6 soaps of 70 grams, for 420 grams of soap base you will be taking. So how much ever grams of soap base you are going to measure on that, if you are buying a clear transparent glycerin base, use 3 to 4%. If you are buying some addictive added base, use 1 to 2%. Understood? Yes? Clear? Okay. Now the soap base. Sorry? Okay. I hope everyone understood.
1 to 2% of what?
Sorry? 3 to that I'll tell you that
No,
I didn't
you told
what this 3 to 4, what this 1 to 2 is the next thing. I'm coming to that, but you understand only this. If you're buying clear transparent glycerin base from Amazon, use 3 to 4% on how much ever of soap you're going to make. And if it is something else, then you add 1 to 2% of additives. What is additives? Why we are using everything? I will come to the next point. Okay. So today, if you're going to buy from Amazon, just to see that it doesn't have SLS, SLS inside your soap base. So in the description itself, they would have mentioned SLS, SLS. So check that, and that alone you check and you buy and you can use. Now, so this what? Next question is, what is this 3 to 4, 1 to 2%? For that, tell me, what do you expect your soap to do? Everyone tell me something. What do you expect your soap to do?
Moisturizing.
Moisture.
It should not get, skin should not get dry after the wash.
Moisture. Yes, next.
Smoothing the skin.
Soothing smell.
Smooth, smell, clean. Clean is cleanse. Okay. Then
And whatever the material we are giving, we are adding to that soap base, it gives the benefit to the skin
I
actually.
am
So this is the main
clarifying
thing.
that point here. After
Yeah.
this, you ask me if you have something. Now, just tell me what do you expect your soap to do to the skin? Okay. Lavanya says glow. Then, what else do you want your soap to do on your skin? What do you expect? You don't want anything. Lot of options are there, right? Okay. Pore cleansing. Okay. Pore cleansing, acne, pimple. Then you have detan. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So 170 grams bar should work like a Superman, create all the benefits what you need. Okay, every customer expects this one. The need on soap, demand on soap is too high. Why? Because some people use moisturizer, some people use pimple cream, some people use serum. But if you see in everyone's toilet kit, only one item will be common, that is a soap or a cleansing item. So people expect a lot from their soap. What every product, 3,000, 4,000 rupees worth of products, creams, gels, whatever it will do, that own soap should do. That's what the expectation of people. Okay. So if you want to counterpart this demand, the actual byproduct, which is soap and glycerin, will not do. Correct. Soap will give you cleansing effect, glycerin will give you moisturizing effect. But if you want that extra magic to happen, then you have to add something extra to bring all these benefits in one soap. Okay, that adding something extra additionally into the soap for deriving an extra benefit from its property is called an addictive. Okay, don't get confused, I'll tell you. So we are adding something extra into the soap. Okay, so that extra will give a benefit to the skin. Okay, add something extra. Why? For a benefit. How the benefit will come? From the property of the product. Whatever the property it has, from that you get is called an addictive. Okay, so this additive will be of different forms that we can add. So one such example, if I tell you, we are today going to do a skin lightening soap. Okay, skin lightening is a property in which if your pimples leave a residue of a mark, or if you have any rashes and that residue of mark is there, any mark will be there, or some pigmentation will be there in the skin. So that pigmentation will make your skin dark in color. Okay, and your skin will be in lighter color. To create that pigmented area also in lighter color, what property we apply is called a skin lightening effect. Okay, so as we are doing natural herbal cosmetics, I will find out what product in herbal or nature has that capacity to do skin lightening. Anyone, any guess which property? Arbutin
Yeah,
is
it's mulethi in Hindi. I don't know the chemical name of that. Mulethi. That reduce
okay.
the pigmentation effect.
Multani meti you're telling. Mulati, I
No, no, no. Mulethi. That is for using for, that is for beneficial for the pigmentation. If you have a
licorice.
spot, dark spot on the skin. Licorice, yes.
Licorice.
Licorice,
Okay.
yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Anything else to reduce the pigmentation?
Otherwise,
Licorice generally we will use for skin whitening purpose. It will give you a whitening effect. Okay. Anything else? Chandan,
and
no.
rice,
Chandan is for
rice
cooling
powder,
effect. Rice powder. Rice
rice
powder is
powder.
to give a glass like skin. Okay. Yes, Sharanya, correct. Sharanya got the answer. So skin lightening effect is derived from turmeric for like n number of years. For n number of years, we were using wild turmeric to get this skin lightening effect. It's a magic herb. In between, because of Western invasion, these properties were reduced and told. It was not told properly. The demerits, unknown demerits were told from this property, and they have reduced the goodness of this property. But for n number of years, women used this wild turmeric. Even in ancient text references, there are a lot of women who used wild turmeric and got a very magical pigment free skin. Okay, so this wild turmeric we use for skin lightening purpose. So this can be added as additive into the soap to derive the benefit and property of this skin lightening. So now we found out the ingredient. Now how to apply as an additive into the melt and pour soap. Okay, to apply as an additive, we have three forms of additive. Okay, so you have oil based additive, liquid based additive, and powder based additive. Okay, additives we are classifying into three forms: oil based additive, liquid based additive, and powder based additive. Okay, now what are the oils that can be added? Okay, first one, essential oil, fragrance oil. You can add butters, skin safe butters, or oil soluble extracts are available. These are available that can be added into your melt and pour soap. Essential oil generally will give smell. It is like essence to cake, but do not add essence and all here. That is only for cake. I'm just giving you an example. Essential oil is essence to the skin. Okay, that will have both benefits of turmeric, also the smell of turmeric. Fragrance oil means like people love smell, they get addicted to smell. So if you want a very high smell, you can use fragrance oil. Natural fragrance oil are available. Then butters means skin safe butters, and oil soluble extracts, some extract form which is got through oil soluble form. So other complicated things we will discuss in the class. Now we'll just see the basic things. Okay, so second one is liquids. So liquid, if you see, you can use any distilled form of liquid, either distilled water or a normal rose water which is available in any shop, any brand, any rose water you can buy and use. Or you can use a for example, you can use hydrocele. Hydrocele is something which is got in distillation method. It is a concentrated floral water. You get nearly 8,000 varieties of hydrocele. Whatever herb, fruit, root, whatever you take, that is a hydrocele. So like essential oil, hydrocele is also something which is similar. This is
But
oil
isn't
form, this is
still
water form.
water harmful?
Distilled water, I'll tell you. Distilled water is nothing but demineralized water. So whatever
Yes,
the RO
is
water,
it
drinking
harmful?
water, wait, I'll complete it. Okay,
Okay.
so distilled water is nothing but demineralized water. All the minerals from the water are taken away and only the liquid content is standing alone. So if you see the drinking water, distillery water, RO water, our tap water and all will have iron content and zinc content inside it. If you apply that water inside your product, that zinc or iron will go and react with your product and produce a different chemical reaction. To avoid it, we are using demineralized water. Demineralized means all that minerals, iron, zinc are taken away and only that liquid portion is standing alone. That liquid portion is nothing, a translucent liquid which will not create anything. It is like zero. It is like zero. It will not create any plus or minus to your product. It will stand as it is. It is that's why they are using for battery water, because batteries, if the zinc and iron go and settle, it will start rusting. That is the reason we are using demineralized water in batteries, car batteries, bike batteries, and all we'll be using. No, so you can buy this distilled water even in your next petrol bunk. Everything is same. Distilled water is available in medical shop to mix with medicine. Distilled water is available in your this battery shop, petrol bunk. It is also available in cosmetic raw material shop. But if you see the cost, it is the same water, but cost in medical shop and cosmetic raw material shop is more expensive. But in petrol bunk, 1 liter itself is only 10 to 15 rupees, which is more viable to be used and easy to attain. Okay, now, so that water can be used in liquid form. Third one is powder form. So powder form, again, we are dividing into two. One is herbal powder, one is skincare powder. Skincare powder is generally made for skincare. Like someone told, no, vitamin C, glutamate powder, and you have kojic powder. So like those powders are skincare powders. And clays, skin clays, no, like bentonite clay, French clay, green clay, those things that also falls under this category. Herbal powders are like manjista, licorice, turmeric, neem powder, those, and dehydrated fruit and vegetable powder. For example, you have orange peel powder, you have beetroot powder, carrot powder, tomato powder. So those fall under herbal powders form. Now, all these forms are available which can be added into your soap. But one thing you have to remember, how much ever, like whatever you add, oils should not exceed 1% of total oil content inside your soap. Liquids again cannot exceed 1% of total content of your soap. Powders cannot exceed 2% of total content of your soap. Even if it is 1 to 2% of your additives or 3 to 4% of your additives, this quantity should not be exceeded. So, and it is not compulsory that you have to add all the three, but when you add all the three, the benefit is attained at a large. Okay, if you want to add only essential oil and you want to finish your soap simply, that also can be easily done. Now you can add 2 3 oils also, 2 3 powders, 2 3 liquids also, but whatever you add, the percentage should be followed exactly. 1% means only 1%. 70 grams of soap, 1% is 0.7 grams, means only 0.7 I can add. So if I go more than this 0.7, if I go more than in this oil content, I will face a problem called sweating of soaps. Okay, so when oil content exceeds this 1%, I will face a problem called sweating of soap. Sweating is nothing but your soap is not able to digest the excess of moisture inside, so it is pushing out and it is standing as a droplets all over your soap. That is called sweating. To avoid this problem, minimize your oil content. Second one is avoid unnecessary entering of moisture into your soap. So tightly wrap your soap and keep it. Okay. Second one is liquids. So liquids, if it goes more than 1% in whatever you are making a gravy, you are making a food, in that you are putting excess of liquid, what will happen? The flavor will go, the fragrance will go, the benefit will go. Same thing will happen here. The flavor of the soap is cleansing. That cleansing property will be reduced. So cleansing will be reduced and your soap will become like a normal bar without a rubbing effect. Okay, so that's why only 1%. Now 2% of powder, if it goes more than 2%, your soap will become very creamy. The hardness of soap will go. So you should not add more than 2%. So for the output and benefit, exactly these percentage will work properly. That's why we have a percentage. Okay, now using this formula, we'll quickly do a practical session. So as I told you, I am going to do skin lightening soap. So lightning effect, I'm using oil, all the three, liquid and also a powder. So soap base, how much I'm using based on my mold, 70 grams of soap base I'm using. So on this oil, 1% means 0.7 grams of my oil. On this liquid, 1% means again 0.7 grams of liquid. On this powder, 2% means I will be using 0.7 plus 0.7, that is 1.4 grams of powder. Okay, all the three forms I am taking as turmeric only. Why? Because see, if I'm telling you a orange soap and if it is smelling like a coffee, will you accept? Any customer won't accept. So whatever soap you're telling, rose means the color, the smell, the feel, everything should be rose. Probably if possible, the texture also should be like a rose. Okay, now if I'm telling orange soap, the color should be orange, the smell should be orange. If it is smelling like a rose, will you accept? No, right? So all the three forms, that is the reason we are taking on the same. So now if I'm telling a turmeric soap, the powder form, the essential oil form and the extract form will be my with my case turmeric only. So turmeric powder, it's a dehydrated powder. One important thing for adding a powder is powder should be authentic powder to derive benefits. How to check the authenticity of the powder? The powder should be fine, really fine, no coarse materials should be there, and the powder should be of high fragrance, then only it means an authentic powder. Color should be high. Okay, the powder should not have any coarse material, then it will not dissolve inside. Okay, second one is essential oil I'm using, that is turmeric essential oil, and extract or liquid content I'm using as turmeric here. But while you're making, you can take only normal rose water itself, which is suitable for all types of soap. Okay, normal rose water you can add as extract type, and it is not compulsory that all the three should go. One or two or three also is fine. Okay, now soap base, how much we are going to take based on the mole size. So my mole size is 70 grams. So I will take a sensitive measuring scale and I will measure 70 grams of my soap base. So weighing scale, always better to buy a weighing scale to have an exact measurement. So it will give you proper soap. So 70 grams. Now, this extract or water content I told you, no, that can be used in two places. One is while you are going to melt the soap, this bar, if you see, it is dry, correct? So to avoid the dryness, you can add half of your liquid content here and remaining half to mix well with your powder. Okay, for that there is a standard measurement. 1 gram of any liquid equal to 30 drops. 1 gram equal to 30 drops. This is a standard measurement. 1 gram equal to 30 drops. Now if I'm going to use 0.7 grams, approximately I can take it as 20 to 22 drops. Okay, why? Because 1 gram equal to 30 drops, approximately 0.7 grams, I'm taking it as 20 to 22 drops. So this will be applicable for both your water content and oil content. So in this, in order to avoid excessive of dryness and to avoid, see, if I add little extract, it will be little lubricating. Okay, for that purpose, I'm adding like 10 drops here and remaining 10 drops along with the powder I will add. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 drops I have added here. Now you can double boil this. If you see, that little bit of water content will help to lubricate this dry soap. Also, it will help to avoid evaporation of water due to heating effect. When you're heating any product, you can imagine how evaporation will happen, that water will be gone. So for that also, this small percentage will help. One more thing, I'm using a induction. You can use your stove also. Keep it at medium to low flame so that the soap will not get cooked again. Okay, this is, the base is already a cooked base. You should not provide too much of heat. The heat, how much it should be, if you see, only this water that we keep for melting should get heated. So in the heat of the water itself, the soap base should be melted. Don't put high heat. Keep it at low to medium. Maintain a very, very low temperature. So I have set my induction. I'm putting at a very low heat. 350 I have set up here. So once the water is heated, I will take it off and I will show you. So in the meantime, too much of water. So water is here. I've added my soap base. I've added few drops of liquid. Now this is going to melt and come. During the entire process, you are not allowed to use any hard whisking metals like this. A whisk or hard whisking metals is not allowed at all, because we are doing a soap. Soap will create a lot of lather and foam. Okay, you can use only a normal spoon or spatula. How you will mix your normal Complan, normal Milo, like that only you have to mix your additives. Additives should not be beaten up. Additives should be only mixed up. Okay, so now I'm measuring my additives in a separate container. So 1.4 grams of turmeric powder, very fine turmeric powder, and 0.7 grams of my essential oil, and that remaining 10 drops of water content. Okay, 1.4. Now 0.7 of my essential oil. This will give you a good smell in the soap and also the benefit. 0.7. After that, 10 drops of water I will add. And it is not compulsory, as I told you, to all add all the 3 forms of additive. Okay, 10 drops of the water content. Normal rose water is also fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drops. So this is more than enough. All the 3 additives on one soap is more than enough. So this soap, if you see the base, I was talking about the base, no? It's a pre-cooked base. Okay. Adding something fresh or a dried flower or a fresh flower leaf will not suit this base at all. The reason is because this is a cooked base. You're adding something fresh. It will be like, for example, you made some upma today and you forgot to add carrots in your upma. Now you are trying to incorporate fresh carrots. You're chopping it or scraping it and throwing it all over your upma. How will it be? First thing, taste will not suit it. Second one, it will go stale soon than you actually expect. Correct? Same thing will happen to your soap also. If you are adding fresh juice here, fresh aloe vera from the plant here, a fresh leaf, a neem leaf fresh into this, or rose petals into this, the resultant will be same. There are 2 growth options inside your soap. One is fungal growth, another one is microbial growth. Okay, fungal growth will at least be seen by your naked eyes. It can be smell, the smell can be it can go rotten, the smell will come, so you can at least trace the appearance of fungal. But microbial growth, only when there is a formation, only with the microscope you can see, otherwise you cannot see with the naked eyes. So adding this fresh juice, fresh leaves, fresh petals will create microbial formation. It will transfer to your skin, but you cannot find out for a long time, because in one usage and all it will not be seen for a long time. You can't even find out what is the reason why I am getting this problem, skin rashes, you can't even find. So do not do that mistake. Don't add anything fresh into your soap. One very very important thing. But fresh things can be added when you do the soap from the scratch, that when you are going to start from the scratch you can add. That I will discuss in the advanced class. For now, if it is a melt and pour soap, don't add anything fresh at all. Okay. And one more thing, if you add rose petals, what will happen after 1 month or 2 months? If you take it out and see, that petals will go into ashes and your soap will be fully like it got pigments all over. Black things will be there completely on your soap. So don't add any kind of petals, leaves. So in YouTube and all they will show, but finally after 1 month they will not take and show it to you. They will like do on the spot and show as it is looking beautiful, otherwise you can't see. Okay, so now once this comes out, I will add to my additives. As I told you, I will keep maintaining the heat at a low itself. So only my water will get heated. The liquid inside will not get heated. On the complete process, I will only mix with the spoon or spatula. If I do something else, hard mixing, hard stirring, it will completely form froth and it will make the appearance of the soap go bad. Okay, and after pouring into your mold, please don't do this, don't shake your mold here and there and don't lose the shape of the soap. Do not want to put it in fridge. Now as I have added everything properly, in next 10 to 15 minutes I will show 10 minutes I will show you the output before you leave. Okay, but when you do, keep it for 1 hour in the same place. After that, demold the soap. Okay, don't want to put in fridge. If you put in fridge, excess of moisture will get into your soap and your soap will start sweating. Okay, avoid that thing. Just wherever you're going to keep, you keep it there and pour your soap. While pouring, you might see small bubbles, air bubbles getting formed. Okay, that air bubbles is nothing but due to that pouring effect. No, what you get is called the uh, key. Please mute yourself. Okay, while pouring, small air bubbles will be formed all over. So to avoid it, you can use a rubbing alcohol. You can spray a rubbing alcohol, or you can use a hair dryer. If you apply some heat on top, that air bubbles will be completely gone. Okay, so I'm just going to place my mold. My soap has been melted. There is no much heat. As I'm taking it quickly, there is no much heat. Okay. If it's very hot or it's heated too much, then don't pour immediately into your additives. Take some time to pour inside your additives. Now there is no much heat and it's very quickly done. So I'm pouring it into my additive part. Now turmeric will give you a orangish brown and not yellow soap. But while you are applying the soap, you will get a beautiful lather of yellow color. And when you rinse it off without tinting, it will all be cleanly gone. Okay. Mix well until you don't see any powder or any other substance remaining inside the liquid. Keep mixing. Once everything is mixed up and you're sure there is no powder lying alone, there is no hard coarse substance lying alone, then you can pour it inside your sterilized mold. Okay, now it's done. I'll pour inside my sterilized mold. So I have sterilized this mold. I'm just pouring inside. After that, if you see, small air bubbles are getting formed. To remove the air bubbles, immediately you can spray rubbing alcohol. Can you see whitish air bubble? So to remove it, spray rubbing alcohol. Now can you see that white bubble has gone? Instead of this, immediately hair dryer, if you use also, that white bubble will be gone. So I am just putting it here for next 10 minutes. I'll show you the output once it is ready. But when you do, leave it for 1 hour at least, your melt and pour soap. Okay. So this soap will give you a beautiful skin lightening effect. So any other doubts, you can go ahead now regarding this process. So in the advanced class, we are doing 2-layer, 3-layer baby melt and pour soap, red wine soap, butter, how to infuse butters inside soap. Everything we are covering in the advanced class. Okay. Any other doubts you can ask now? No. This is melt and pour soap. Immediately you can use. Only for cold process soap, you need to wait for 25 days of time. This, like, you can sell today itself, this soap. And you can also use it today itself. All materials required will be given for your advanced class. Here, that's why I told you, take a pen and paper and note it down. So you can note it down and you can buy from Amazon and you can start trying for an initial try. But for more information, more things, we'll do it in the advanced class. Potassium base will be liquid. That's what I explained in the beginning. Potash means it will come on liquid form. If it is caustic soda or sodium hydroxide, means it will come in hard form. Okay. OAC is oil soluble extracts.